Well, I study shoemaking actually. I study at Corwainers. There is a shoe school here in London that now belongs to London College of Fashion. But I love, I mean, all my shoes have, yeah, you are right, they have a lot of volume. So, like lots of volume in the front. The heels tend to be very robust, and so I guess that's what you mean, that they look quite sculptural. You know, I wanted to study. I knew I wanted to do arts and design, but when I came to London, I actually was thinking, okay, what shall I do? Shall I do product design? Shall I do so? I went to have a different, you know, have a look at different schools, different courses. But when I visited Corwainers, and you know, that just the, you know, the smell of leather, I just felt like looking at the workshop, I felt, wow, this is, I think, what I want to do, because it's a mixing between fashion and product design. So it was like, when I saw that the workshops, I felt this is really, well, exactly, I think it's a bit of a coincidence actually, because it's exactly what I'm talking about. When I visited that workshop and I felt, wow, this is going to be really interesting, making things with my hands, you know, and also being able to work with fashion at the same time. I started with Miista. I started Miista in April 2010. What is on the shops at the moment is our second collection. Our Spring Summer 12, which is, you know, this is part of the products from Spring Summer 12, is going to be our third collection only, so it's very new. I'm not one of those designers that focuses so much on, okay, the trend is going to be this, but I do work a lot with themes. So let's say, you know, in the current, what is on the shops at the moment, the theme was very dark, and that is probably one of my favorite collections, because I love that kind of dark kind of you know, vision and, you know, style. And but in summer, in summer 12, what is coming out of the shops now, I basically took more or less the same shapes I used in winter, but make them really bright. So yeah, the Spring Summer 12 is very much kind of South American elements, yeah, Inca elements, lots of colors. So it went from winter being very dark to summer being super bright. Obviously, we still have, in each shoe we do them in the super bright colors, but we always have the black version, because we think that we have a very like dark customer. I buy a lot of vintage pieces and I research a lot on vintage, and so probably I thought I saw something that, some vintage piece, I think, that just triggered like the kind of, and then, you know, we start building around that. You know, we built all our mood boards with like, from like, you know, our mood boards would have like kind of style icons that we love, but would always have to be related to that theme. We'll have that, we'll have street fashion, we'll have maybe pieces that we see that bloggers are liking, we'll have vintage pieces, we'll have like, I don't know, drawings of whatever, or, you know, YouTube screenshots of videos that go related to that theme in music. So this is work in process, like next winter, and the collection is going to be very much inspired about Victorian elements. So we were looking at, for example, Herero women, which they have these like really Victorian kind of dresses, but these crazy hats, which I absolutely love. Like this one, like the shape of the hats is really, really nice. And then just looking at, for example, Boy George on Karma Chameleon, and looking at the videos from their songs that were like really Victorian as well. So it's like, you know, ethnic mixed with Victorian, really kind of crazy type of styling, you know, looking at vintage pieces like lions on like buckles, and then that mixed with very much the 90s raving culture. I've got pictures from one of my favorite photographers from East London, which is FABSTIC, and just that kind of, you know, this is very much the same kind of theme. It's very, you know, lots of madness together, like colors and, you know, this kind of velvet mixed with like religion elements and Victorian elements as well. But I think, you know, what I'm basically, you know, getting a lot of inspiration from is from this kind of vintage shoes that have like these like very much like I mean it's a bit of a Victorian kind of theme on it as well, but it's very much, you know, 90s raving kind of yeah. So the way I design is always like mixing lots of elements that don't normally go together. So, you know, there is a bit of that kind of sense of mixing in the word, and then there is a bit of a masculine element there as well, and the shoes tend to be quite strong and a little bit masculine sometimes. So this is autumn winter 12-13.